Yeah, dear student, welcome back to the business study class. Our chapter going on is chapter 4, business services. Topic going on was insurance, and today I am going to teach you about the marine insurance. What is marine insurance? Okay. So as the name suggests, it is related to the sea. Clear? It is related to the sea, and we are going to cover up here the insurances related to the perils of sea. Perils means danger. Perils of sea, and we are going to have an insurance of the ships. We in local language or general language it is called ships or cargo ships. Clear? Though there are passenger ships are also there, they are called ferries. Clear? So passenger ships are there. So both type of ships, a marine insurance policy is available. Clear? So unlike other insurances, a marine insurance is also a contract. Clear? So other insurance like marine insurance is also a contract of marine insurance. Is also a contract. Clear? Marine insurance is also a contract, and this contain again two parties. One is insurer, in which a person or a company who undertakes to take the insurance of the ship, and second is insured. The person who has taken the insurance will call insured, and the person who is providing insurance services is called insurer. We have seen the Titanic movie. Clear? So even Titanic had got the insurance. So marine insurance is also a contract in which there are two parties: insurer who provides the service of insurance, and insured person who takes the service of insurance. And guarantees, and insurer guarantees the insured against the perils of the sea available. Clear? So this is called marine insurance. So what are the marine perils available? There are several type of marine perils available. Clear? So what are the perils of the sea? First is collision of ship. You would laugh on this topic, that collision of the ship, how it is possible. Clear? But it is possible as the population is growing, the need of the food items is growing, and the different types of item, electronic, several type of demand is rising, and that is why the transportation by sea is increasing every day. Clear? I remember the thing, the world biggest ship carrier has been designed, and the wave created by this ship is visible by satellite through the universe. So such a huge ships we are having, there is a huge traffic. So collision of the ship may happen between ship to ship because some routes are very congested, or collision with the rocks. This is also possible. Or you will see the pirates are also available. In the poor countries like South African countries, you will see pirates, means Samudri pirates are also visible. They are going to plunder the ship. Even to the equator in high international seas, several type of dangers are available. Even there are accident, the engine of the ship may catch fire, or there are several types of dangers of the sea journey or voyages available. These perils cause the damage or destruction to the ship, or disappearance of the ship and cargo, and non-payment of the freight. Clear? So generally we are going to take the insurance of three things in marine policy. Clear? That is ship or hull insurance. Clear? Next is cargo insurance. Ship or hull means the base on which ship is built. Clear? Next is cargo insurance, and third is freight insurance. Third is freight insurance. So basically these three major things are there which have been covered in marine insurance. Thus, it is a device wherein insurer undertakes to compensate the owner of the ship or cargo for complete or partial loss at sea. The insurer guarantees to make the good all amount of the losses which an insurer can occur or can happen at any time. So, insurer provides the service of insurance towards the marine insurance. The insurer in this case is known as underwriter, and a certain sum of money is paid by the insured in consideration for the guarantee protection he gets. So marine insurance is slightly different from other type. There are three things involved in ship. Okay? So marine insurance is a little bit different from other type of insurance, clear? Because it involves the insurance of three things: ship or hull, cargo, and freight. Clear? Now we are going to discuss this thing in detail. Since the ship is exposed to many dangers at the sea, the insurance policy is for the indemnifying the insured for loss caused or damage by, because you will see that tides are also there. Clear? Several types of cyclone, typhoons, these things are also going to make the journey of the sea very rough. So sometimes what happens, even if it is not desired, ship may go in the wrong direction and may cause damage to the ship by colliding with some other ship or an foreign object or alien or rock or something, reefs like this. So insurance is taken for the ship or hull insurance. Next important thing, maximum ships are the cargo ship. They are carrying the goods of somebody. Clear? So for that purpose, cargo insurance is required. The cargo which is being transported by the ship is subject to many risks. These may be the risk of theft, loss of goods by voyage. Thus, an insurance policy can be issued to cover against such risk to cargo. If the ships come into the danger, definitely the goods loaded on that or cargo loaded on that may also be get damaged. The ship is plundered for the cargoes only. So, definitely cargo is going to the risk of theft, fire, collision, and even huge amount of moisture is available. If you have not done the packaging according to the international standard, your goods might be subject to the exposure of salty vapor, clear, or salty moisture. It is going to damage the upper surface of the product. So electronic items need very special type of packaging while importing from one country to another, especially through sea route. Clear? So first is ship or hull insurance for the protection of the ship and the protection of its body. Second is cargo insurance, which has been generally taken so that the person who is giving his goods for the transportation will not get affected. And third is freight insurance. If anything happened to the ship or cargo and they are not in a position to deliver the thing, the person who has given the goods to be carried on by the ship will not pay the freight. Freight is only payable when the goods are securely delivered. So insurance is taken for that purpose also. So if the cargo does not reach the destination due to the damage or loss in transit, the shipping company is not paid freight charges. Freight insurance for reimbursing the loss of freight to the shipping company, the insured. Clear? So if the shipping company doesn't get a freight from their customer, they may charge it from the insurance company because they have taken the insurance. Alien insurance for damage. You have seen that Titanic movie in which the ship get lost or damaged in its first voyage. Though the designer of the ship that says or committed that it is an invincible ship, it is never going to be sink, and that ship has gone sink in its first journey. Clear? So for all these protection, the insurance is available, but at the time of Titanic, the insurance amount of insurance was so high that the insured person has run away from the claim. Clear? So this is called the marine insurance, or designed to protect from the perils of the sea. Now again we are going to discuss the fundamental principle of marine insurance. Fundamental principles. Fundamental principles of marine insurance. Clear? So as we are continuously discussing about the principles of insurance, we discussed the principle of life insurance, general insurance. Now we are, even yesterday in class I gave you the example about the fire insurance, and today we are discussing the marine insurance. Clear? So the fundamental principle almost remain same. So the first principle is of, what is that? Can you guess? Clear? Yes, the very first thing, that is utmost good faith. So dear student, as I am continuously telling you that insurance is not a device to earn the profit. Insurance is not a device to earn the profit. It's a facility given to us for the protection of our capital, goods and every other thing. So in this case, what it is expected, that both the parties, that is insurer means the person who is providing the insurance, and second is insured. Clear? The person who is providing insurance policy and person who is taking the insurance, both shall disclose all the relevant information. Clear? Relevant and meaningful information. If the insured is taking anything which is exposure to the or explosive or exposure to the risk, or carrying a petrol is different from carrying a computer, because computer is not going to catch a fire. So if you are carrying a petrol in that, lubricants in that, strict care will be taken while carrying that. For that purpose, cargoes are different and premium is different. But if you are taking any electronic item, they are not exposure to the of catching the fire. So both shall disclose. Insurer will provide or disclose that he is authorized to provide the insurance of that goods or not. At the same time, insured shall disclose that in cargo what things or they are carrying. So again, this is a very good principle, utmost good faith. It means both the persons shall disclose all the relevant information to fulfill the contract. If the insured does not disclose the right amount of the thing he is carrying in it, the agreement or the contract of insurance will turn to be void. Void means zero. No compensation is payable. So again, this is the principle of utmost good faith. Both the persons shall disclose the required information. So similar to the fire insurance and life insurance, the contract of marine insurance is also a contract of utmost good faith. Both the insured and insurer must disclose everything which is in their knowledge and can affect the insurance contract. If there is anything which might affect the mind of insured has to disclose. Anything which might affect the decision of insurer has to disclose. Both shall respect the feeling of each other in order to avoid the future dispute. The insurance is duty bound to accurately disclose all facts which include the nature of shipment and the risk of damages that it is exposed to. Clear? So the principle of utmost good faith should be well followed. Second is insurable interest. This is again necessary. Insurable interest is again necessary. So the insurable interest must exist at the time of the loss, but not necessary at the time when the policy was taken. Clear? So insurable interest must always be present at the time of taking the insurance. Clear? Next principle is indemnity. Indemnity means protection. So unlike life insurance, the contract of marine insurance is also a contract of strict indemnity. The insured can, in the event of loss, recover the actual amount of loss from the insured. Under no circumstance, the insured is allowed to make profit out of the marine insurance. Clear? What you can recover from the insurance company or from the principle of strict indemnity is the amount of the insurance which you have taken. I am again telling, insurance is not a way of earning the profit from the insurer or the company. It just designed, insurance is just designed to protect the interest of the person who is carrying or doing the business. But cargo policies provide commercial indemnity rather than strict indemnity. The insurer promised to indemnify the insured in the manner and to the extent agreed. In case of a hull policy, the amount insured is fixed at a level above the current market value. Clear? So these things are again available. Strict indemnity is always available while taking the marine insurance. Clear? Now proximate cost. How the insurance policy is payable for proximate cost. So the principle of causa proxima will apply to insurance company will be liable to pay only if that particular loss nearest cost is covered by policy. Clear? For example, if the ship gets sink due to the technical problem, you see that sometimes ship is turtled, means bent toward one side, and because bending water has entered into and ship has got sink, the amount will not be paid for the whole amount of the ship. Clear? It is just paid for the nearest cause. That is, if it is caused by own internal problem, no compensation is payable. Because what is happening in if any truck is going on in a road and if it get turtled, clear, it can be recovered. But what is happening in the ship? If ship get turtled, means bent over one side and water has entered into and ship has got sink, there is no way to recover it. Once gone to the seabed, it is not going to be recovered at any cost. No device is there to recover the sinker sea. So in that case only the compensation is paid for the nearest cause and not for any other cause. Clear? So these are the certain principle on which marine insurance is based. I hope you have understood it. Kindly go through it and let me know about your doubts. Thank you. Happy learning.